We're not on yet, so we're good.
Gene is on the call.
Good morning, everyone. We'll start in 1 minute. Good morning, everybody. We will get going in just a few seconds. We will get going in just a moment. See, if I don't keep saying that, then people go, hello, hello, hello. So I feel the need to continually repeat that we're about to start. So I think we're starting right now. Welcome to the call this morning. It's a great week to be in real estate. And so I want to ask you a question to all of our really pros out there. Do you have an entrepreneurial mindset or do you have an employee mindset? Because an employee mindset puts their priorities on doing tasks, right? And they are very, very busy. And they always are seeking guidance and they really value stability and security, where an entrepreneurial mindset really emphasizes getting stuff done, taking the initiative, just getting out there and growing and innovating and doing. And I think that times of trauma, which the last few years might have been in your business, we feel good because we're doing tasks, but we're being might be productive, but we're not really accomplishing much. So I'm just going to challenge you to ask yourself the question: am I being an entrepreneur? Am I taking action? That's the difference. And so think about that as we move through the week. In the text, I mentioned something called pig butchering. The Secret Service contacted the NAR about a scam of realtors, and the technical term is pig butchering. And let me tell you what that is. That is a high-end client contacting you pretending to be a high-end client. So let's talk about pig butchering, right? It's the high-end client that comes to you and they show you big bank accounts, and they typically show you a big crypto account, and they're interested in buying a house and they're going to buy it all cash. That's your red flag. And they get you working and excited because you're going to make a $75,000 commission. And then they just subtly mention to you that maybe you should invest in my crypto. And so maybe you invest, $2,500 in their crypto account. And then in a week, you get a return of $500. So they send you $3,000 back. And by that time, the hook is set in your mouth. And they say, well, if you'll give me 10, you'll get that same kind of return. And once you transfer 10, they disappear. And the current target is real estate agents. Pig butchering typically was trying to get someone romantically involved and steal their money. Now they're getting you romantically involved with the idea of buying a luxury property with cash. So be careful with that, according to the Secret Service. Each week we try to talk about something that's kind of in the news, and this is interesting. I'm not exactly sure what is going to happen here, but real estate investors tend to are currently offloading homes at a really rapid pace, including Open Door and those kinds of things. And that is contributing to the increased number of houses on the market, right? And they're trying to stem their losses because rents are not going up, right? And that they don't have an opportunity to raise rents to cover the cost of these houses. So we see lots of investors flooding the market with houses. And I think that explains why some of our great individual homes are seeing some multiple offers, but yet inventory is being high. And so it's a little bit of a change in our market. So if you've got a client looking for a good deal, an investor house maybe is where to find it. But that is something that is happening really in our marketplace right now. So think about it. Um, we want to do our broker update and get a little update from Brenda Cole. You know, she collects all your questions during the week and introduces them here on the call. Hey, Brenda, give us an update.
Good morning. Well, in your example, we did actually have an agent who recently was working with a gentleman, and she'd done everything she could to check him out. He was from New York.
There you go. There's the next red flag, Brenda.
And she'd been talking with him for a couple of weeks, and when he brought up crypto, in a message, she texted back and said, "I'm so sorry, my husband handles all of my finances." She was trying to brush it off. And then when he came back the next message and she said, perhaps I misunderstood, the purpose of our relationship was for real estate, not for that. He blasted her in email, in a couple of text messages of reporting her to the board. She was going to lose her license and on and on and on. So, of course, she immediately blocked him and thanked him very much and wished him well. But yeah, I mean, he appeared to be legitimate as far as she could check out with Forewarn and the house that he owned and what his company was and all of that. But yeah, he immediately turned it, not immediately, again, it took a couple of weeks trying to turn it into crypto. So very, very good point. I'm helping Jessica Perales with her personal home, listing it right now. And I wanted to let you guys know what we're seeing. She received 4 good offers on her house, on her personal home. All 4 of them were contingent upon sale of other properties. I was not surprised to see 1, but I was extremely surprised to see 4. One of which said that they weren't really contingent upon sale of other property because they were so far down the line, so they didn't include the contingency addendum. Wound up terminating during the auction period because surely indeed they were contingent upon sale of other property and their sale fell through. So I want you to remind you very much that let your sellers know, get them prepared. We are seeing sale of other properties being back in the market heavier than we've seen them in many, many years. So you guys need to make sure, get those amendments out, addendums out, read through them. If you don't understand them, call me. We're probably going to cover this at the next office meeting because they are complicated. You have to make sure that you're juggling closing dates and possession dates, and it is a fact of life. Many, many people have to sell their house before they move into another one. But that addendum is a little tricky, and we want to make sure that you guys are understanding it and using it properly. But more importantly, for your sellers, let them know to be expecting potentially those buyers. This is not a $300,000 price range either. It is a middle to upper price range that we're getting these contingency offers in. So happy to help you guys through those and walk through them, whether you're writing them or if you're representing the buyer or the seller. Happy to help walk you through those because we just want to make sure we're doing them right. That's what I've got. Thanks, guys.
Brenda, it's amazing. We never run out of things to talk about in this business, right? There's just so much happening all the time. And luckily, everyone, you're at a brokerage that values education, that values briefing you on everything. We feel like we already have some of the smartest agents in the world. And that's part of our culture is to continue to support that. Is your United website updated? Basically, you would log into Bullseye and add updates, add reviews, add content. It's already connected to MLS, and it's just a credibility piece for you. You could even add a custom URL. If I had andybearden.com, I could point that to my website. I don't have that. Some guy in Alabama, some banker has andybearden.com and has had it forever. But if you had a custom URL, you could point it to your United website. We can share with you how to do that. Talk to Brenda, talk to me. Also, if you open Bullseye in the bottom left-hand corner is a little circle, and there's somebody there during the week that can help you. So update that website. Um, and then finally, not finally, what am I saying? The in the text I said, what do top agents focus on that others neglect? What do top agents focus on that others neglect? If you have a piece of paper, maybe you write them down. I think number one, they focus on starting every day with lead generation, finding that next piece of business, and they do it every day, right? They don't have the ups and downs that other agents have because they consistently are trying to find the new piece of business, right? Maybe it's social media, maybe it's working on their open house. They just prioritize finding new business even if they're busy, right? They build a personal brand, so everything is consistent. All of their YouTube and Realtor.com and all of those kinds of things, they're all consistent with their brand, right? What else? Well, they prioritize reviews and referrals. We saw Sharon Powell is out there seeking referrals. We posted one of her out there seeking reviews, and we posted one of her reviews this week because top agents prioritize reviews. They invest in coaching. They spend money on training classes and masterminds and things like that. They treat their CRM like it's a gold mine and they maintain it. They focus on listings, not just buyers, right? And you can push back and say, well, I don't like listings, or I don't know how to do. We can help you with that. But top agents focus on them because that's where the money is and that's where additional buyers come from. But I think they also build momentum in the slow seasons, right? When they don't have anything to do, they do something, right? That's that entrepreneurial spirit that we're talking about. They never take their foot off the gas. They hit the accelerator, and we want everyone here to be that kind of top agent. So think about that list and think about reviewing your own business. So finally, can you take out a piece of paper? There are just a lot of little miniature announcements that we need to make for you to put on your calendar. Um, the um, the So I'm sorry, I got flustered for a second. So here are some things to put on your calendar. Number one is our team meeting. It's typically the third Thursday, but that would be this Thursday, which is a national holiday as we celebrate Juneteenth. So we've moved it to the following week, the 26th. So can you do me a personal favor? If you're on this call today, will you plan on being there in person on the 26th if possible, or during this, do the simulcast online? We're going to put a lot of energy into this, a lot of value, and please make it a priority to be a part. At the very least, we want to see your face and tell you how much we appreciate being in business with you. So write that down. Number two, write down sprint. We'll start our sprint number 3 next week. Sprint number 3 is 4 weeks of focusing on jump-starting your business, and you can participate in that with some online calls that we do over that 4 weeks. So put that in there. Write down July the 24th. That is our Christmas in July, because we're not going to compete against title companies during Christmas. We're going to have this wonderful family event. It's during the day, and you can bring your kids. I've invited all our people from Houston to drive up, Central Texas to drive up if you want to see everybody. Santa will be there in Bermuda shorts and ready to take pictures. We'll have our Christmas jazz band there, and a great time together to just network with each other and connect. And really, it's a culture event that we want you to be a part of. So write that down. Then write down September 11th and 12th. That's Roundup. That is our annual convention just for us locally here. You'll get 6 to 8 CE hours for just participating. You'll get a couple of happy hours, a dinner or so, plus just lots of great information. It'll be in the historic Fort Worth stockyards, and so you'll want to be a part of that. Remember, also next week, I'm going to be doing 6 hours on Wednesday of CE called Broker Responsibility. And even if you don't want to be a broker and just need 6 hours, this is 6 free hours. And so you'll see a post on Facebook, you'll see a text that you can RSVP for. and we can go from there. But it's 6 free CE hours that I think you'll get a lot of content out of. So, man, that was a lot to go over. But that's why I wanted you to bring out a piece of paper. But next week is both 6 hours of CE, and next week is our team meeting. So you'll want to be a part of all of that. If you'll bear with me just a second, I want to scroll through my list and make sure I didn't forget anything. One last thing, and then we'll be done. If you go to ureportal.com, that's where you have all sorts of content. We've started to add videos at the very bottom, training videos, and they're on how to put in a contract into paperless. Thank you, Terica, for creating those. And so we'll be adding more and more of those videos. So we wanted to add that. Man, we're out of time. Thank you, Gene Lamb, for being available, but we may have to come back to you. So Gene Lamb, of course, runs our mentoring program. So thank you so much for hanging out with us. We're blessed to be in business with you. Call us if you need anything. Bye-bye.